Have you been studying English for a while, but right now you're really frustrated and demoralized because you feel like you aren't making progress anymore? You've probably hit the intermediate plateau. In this session, let's talk about how to get off the plateau and keep improving your English. Hi, I'm Charlie from Organic English. So, you've been studying English for a while. You were happy, you were making great progress, you were excited about studying and becoming a fluent English speaker. But then all the progress seemed to stop. You're comfortable enough listening to and reading English, but you can't find the words you need to express yourself. You feel self-conscious and you feel like you must be making too many mistakes in English. Congratulations, welcome to the Intermediate Learning Plateau. Now in this session, we're going to look at what the Intermediate Learning Plateau is and why it's even there. Then I'm going to give you 5 ideas, 5 ways to get through this plateau so you can go back to making progress and become more advanced, more fluent in English. Okay, so here we go. Firstly, what is the intermediate plateau? So the definition of a plateau is a period during which the level of something does not change, especially after a period when it was increasing. So the intermediate learning plateau is when you hit this period when you are at an intermediate English level. So that's around B1, B2 on the CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference. Now when you start learning English or anything new, it's easy to make progress because you're starting at a low level and any progress is a win. The learning curve is steep, but then it slows right down. Okay, so why did I say congratulations, welcome to the intermediate plateau? It's because I think you need to congratulate yourself for getting here. And this is my first idea, my first piece of advice to you. Change your attitude. Develop a positive attitude. Change your mindset and congratulate yourself. Look at it as a glass half full situation, not a glass half empty situation. You've come this far through your own hard work. Celebrate that. Now, so many learners get to this stage, get to this plateau, and they get frustrated. They lose motivation, they stop doing the work, and they quit. Or they become complacent because they feel this level is sufficient for their needs, and they stop learning. Now, my second idea, the second concept is to re-examine your goals. Now, why are you learning English? You need to know why you're doing this to keep you going. The motivation has to come from within. Are you learning English so you can live, work, study in an Anglophone country? Is it to get that promotional work? Has your company merged with another company and suddenly you need to communicate in English with new co-workers? Or is it simply to be able to hold a conversation or to be able to read a newspaper or blogs comfortably in English? Whatever it is, re-examine why you're doing this. Why are you putting yourself through the hard work of learning a new language, learning English? And draw strength from that. Be motivated by the goal. Okay, idea number 3, make it fun. Now at this stage you are probably doing a mixture of very structured work, perhaps from some kind of a course book, and working with authentic materials such as websites, news articles and blogs. Now, I suggest you get away from your course book and focus more on the authentic materials. In my opinion, it's important to focus more on building your vocabulary than on grammar at this stage. You should already have a pretty solid base of grammar. And what is stopping you from understanding others or stopping you from being able to express your thoughts easily is the amount of vocabulary you have. Either you don't understand the words that the other person is saying, or you don't have the words to express yourself. Please note, I did not say you should stop working on grammar completely, okay? Just back off it a little and prioritize vocabulary. So how do we prioritize vocabulary and make it fun? Find podcasts and other audio on subjects that you enjoy. Find books, blogs and other websites that are about subjects, about topics that you want to read. What I'm trying to say is that you should Be looking for material that you would want to read or listen to in your own language. But make sure the material is in English, of course. Now, it's really important that you are picking up vocabulary in context, not in isolated words, like in a list. Now, much of language is made up of chunks or groups of words that always go together, such as collocations, phrases, or expressions. And the more you are exposed to these, the more familiar you'll become with them. And so you'll understand them and be able to use them yourself without thinking. Just like you know how to use shortcuts on your computer keyboard, like Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste. Now, my fourth suggestion is to change things up. Perhaps you've developed a nice comfortable routine doing exercise that gave you good results, but now they don't. Now you have to get a little bit uncomfortable. Break out of that comfortable routine. Now, this may sound like a direct contradiction of my previous point, where I said make it fun. I don't think it has to be necessarily. Look at what it is that you don't like doing. It might be writing, it might be speaking to real people, be they native speakers or others whose second language is English. I think you know deep down that those are the things that you need to do to start making progress again. Now, I recommend starting a language journal where you can record your day. You can write down random ideas you're getting from the material you're listening to or watching or reading, new phrases, new vocabulary, new expressions. Now, this will get you writing regularly, and you will also be able to track your progress. You'll be able to see what you've been studying, you'll be able to see what works for you and what doesn't. Now, the speaking part, go out and speak to people in English. Some of my corporate students, for example, they get together in their lunch break and talk about what they've been learning, and they give each other tips, they give each other ideas. Maybe you don't have a group of like-minded people you can speak to, but there are many websites out there like, for example, Preply and italki and others where you can find fluent English speakers to speak with for very low rates. Now, finally, point number 5, my fifth suggestion. Take the ideas above and make yourself a study plan. You need to get more disciplined, even more disciplined than you were before. You need to carve out some time each day where you can sit quietly and do some deliberate practice. Now, deliberate practice is when you sit down with the express intention of learning, as you would during a class or with a textbook or with a tutor. For example, you might sit with a transcript of a podcast you're listening to and note down new vocabulary. You can then try and work out the meaning of the new word or the phrase that you found from the context, and then look it up in an English to English dictionary to confirm. You can then make your own sentences using those words or phrases. You could also work on your speaking by mimicking the speaker. You should also set aside some time for natural practice in your study plan. Natural practice is the type of language practice that is typically very low stress and done with pleasure and fun in mind. For example, watching TV shows or movies, reading novels in English. Now, as I mentioned before, you're reading, you're listening to, you're watching the same kind of things you would do in your own language. You're just switching the language to English. So there you are. 5 suggestions to help you beat the intermediate learning plateau, to help you go from intermediate to advanced. Let's recap. Number 1, change your attitude. Change your mindset. Glass half full. Number 2, re-examine your goals. Why are you doing this? Number 3, make it fun. Number 4, change things up. Get a little uncomfortable. And number 5, get even more disciplined. Make a study plan. And finally, my most important point, be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up about your lack of progress. I firmly believe that anyone who wants to be an advanced level English learner can become one. But I also believe that every learner is different, and depending on your individual circumstances, it'll take more or less time to achieve that goal. Now, I hope you can put some or all these ideas into action immediately to help you get off this plateau, to help you move from intermediate to advanced English learner. As always, take a look at my website. There's plenty of other material that you can look at to help you become more fluent. Thank you very much for watching. Now go out and practice your English.